So mobile is just how to give you how your report will look like when uh when on your mobile phone. So you can see this is the shape of a phone, right? I hope I'm recording. Okay. So and then bookmark, very important as well. Let's say you have some, for example, you built a sales report, right? And you want to always look at a report of some particular salesperson by their region. You can bookmark that so that immediately you click on that, just like you bookmark websites, right? You are browsing a website, you can bookmark the website, those that you visit regularly, so that you don't need to always type the URL. That's the bookmark working. So that you don't need to always start again and say, okay, I want to filter, go to your filter and say filter by region, filter by name. You have some names that you call, some regions or some criteria by which you filter at all times. So you can bookmark that so that you just press your bookmark, or you now relate your bookmark to an action. Immediately it filters, and immediately you open that, you just click to your button, and that makes it interactive. It makes it interesting. Bookmarks and buttons are very, very, very nice features in Power BI that makes your report so sweet. So selection here is just to help you to select your visuals, right? So let me go back to white, right? So let me check this. Now you will notice, Michael, now at least you are familiar with it, Power BI, right? You notice that before now, if you put this and all these guys here, what you can do is there is always a star sign here that says, okay, delete it, right? You can see that it's no longer there. So it's no longer there. What you can do now is to come to your view and then uncheck it for you not to see it again. But before now, you notice, Michael, you can confirm, right? Hello,
Yes,
Michael.
yes, I can hear you, sir. I can't really remember, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So, but before now, you have to exit out to close it. But now you have to come to. So a lot of improvements so far. Then you have performance analyzer, right? This is just to help you to analyze. So sometimes you might have a lot on your report, and the thing could be hanging. To just be hanging. So if you want to know what is really causing that hang or delay or lag, you can come to performance analyzer and it will help you look at each of your reports and then look at what is really happening. Is it a column that is causing that? So it will give you in percentage. So we'll do that when we build a report. Try to see what we're saying. Then we have sync sliders. This is just to sync all your client sliders, just like report connection in Excel. Just to sync everything together so that it's relates, right? And then F. So if you want to access the guided learning of Power BI, you can come here. It will take you to the web, right? Just click it. It will take you to a browser. Training videos, documentation support. You want to join Power BI blog community. You want to join BI developers, submit an idea. Maybe you want to give Microsoft an idea, a new idea, you come there, external tools, then a sample data set and consulting services. So this is all about the Power BI interface. So these are all basically, so as you start now, right, you will see how this works, right? So let's move ahead. So before we start wrangling and all that, I want to show us a picture as well, which is, can you see this screen?
Yes, sir.
Can we all see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I want to know why this is not working with this speaker. Hello? Hello? Hello, can we hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
But have you been hearing me since?
No.
And you got to have dropped a message. Meaning of
Uh,
where
I
at what point did you notice you can't hear me again?
it's from
The pillars?
yes, from the yes, from this place. Yes.
Okay.
From this side.
Oh, sorry. So I was talking about the 7 pillars of Power BI, meaning the steps we have to take to do any analysis in Power BI. The first one is extract, you transform, you model, calculations, visuals, distribution, and automation. Extract is you importing, getting your data to Power BI. Transformation involves steps of wrangling your data, making sense out of your data. Modeling is creating relationships. Calculations, that is where you create DAX. Visuals is where you create your pictures, right? Bring your bar chart, pie chart, and all that. Distribution is, after creating your report, you share it with the company, with CEO, with different stakeholders, right? The automation is ensuring that your data continuity is steady. You don't need to just make it automated and then your data peaks by default. All right. So those are the 7 steps. So we are going to tonight, I believe we are going to touch step 1 and 2. Maybe tomorrow again we go to 3 and 4, and then we go like that till we are done to step 7. So but I now said before that I want to run us through the different DAX functions that we have, so that we can just have even before we start DAX, right? So that we already know the different types of DAX we are to meet, right? So let me start with the definition of DAX. DAX is data analysis expression, right? It's a library of functions and operators that can be combined to build formulas and expressions in Power BI, analysis services, and Power Pivots in Excel data models. Power BI supports more than 200 types of DAX functions, right? So we have a lot of them. We have datetime functions, we have filter functions, we have test functions, we have information functions, we have logical functions, we have time intelligence functions, we have mathematical functions, a lot of them. So why am I sharing this is because it is very important that you know the category you are working with, because sometimes you are confused. You know what you want to do, but which DAX do I need to use? Now, it is with the help of you knowing the category that you know that, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do here. For example, you want to filter a table. You know that you need to use filter functions. Okay. Now, if you don't know the filter functions, you might not really know what to use. Now, okay, there is all. This is a filter option. There is all except, there is all selected, there is calculate, there is calculate table, there is filter, there is what lookup value. These are filter functions. But of all those functions, this calculate is the most powerful, right? Very powerful guy that can do wonders. So these are filter functions. Under table functions, we have add columns, you have summarize, you have group by, you have data table, you have union, except, intersect, natural inner join, natural outer join. These guys, you hardly use them. Why? Because you must have done all your joins in Power Query. So why use these ones? But sometimes maybe you are analyzing already and you discover that there is still a lot to do and you need to do inner join or something. You can just use this one. All right. It's just like you doing calculated columns. Sometimes normally you should have done all your calculated columns in Power Query, right? But sometimes maybe you forgot and you just let me just quickly do it so far I can do it. So you get it now. So that's what. So then we have logical functions. Under logical functions, we have if error, we have switch, we have if, we have and, or, not, and then close, right? So, and then text functions, you have upper, you have lower. I will share this file with us as well, so that you can just go through them so that you know the category, so that when we are calling them, you can tell, okay, this is under time intelligence. This is why we are using this. We have left, right, concatenate, length, substitute, meet, find, search, exact, So you can see that some of these functions are very similar to what you experience in Excel, right? If you notice. So they are very similar to one another. So then you have math and trick functions, you have sum and SUMX, you have user principal name, those are information functions. You have relationship functions, user relationship, related table, statistical DAX functions. You have count row, distinct count blank, count A, count X. So these are different functions. Mean, mass. So when we start the fourth step of pillars of Power BI, this calculation part, so I will elaborate on each of them again, right? So this is just on a high level, right? So then we have parent-child functions. So what I was talking about row level security the other time, where I was talking about view row, manage row, right? These functions are used to create row level security, whereby Michael as a CTO can only see his data and his team. CFO can only see the data of himself and his team. Me, myself, as the salesperson, I can only see my data. I cannot see any other person's data, like all other salesperson. And Faraday, that is the head of all, can see everybody's data. So these are some of the functions you use to do that, right? Part contains, part length, part item. Then you have the date and time DAX function, right? So you might be answering, what's the difference between date and time DAX functions and time intelligence? So the difference is basically because date and time is just talking about the date. Time intelligence, just as the name implies, you want to do some business intelligence with time. That's when you are talking about time intelligence. For example, you want to see same period last year. All right, you want to see total year to date. These are intelligent business questions. So that's why it's called time intelligence, right? Based on time. So these are the categories. I think that's all. Okay, then so I think that's all. These are the categories we have. So let me iterate again. We have the filter, we have table manipulation, we have logical, we have text, we have math and trick, we have information, we have relationship functions, we have statistical DAX functions, we have time intelligence functions, we have parent and child functions, we have date and time functions, and that is all, right? So those are all the DAX categories that we have. So now we can jump now to our 7 pillars, right? So which is the first is extract and what? Extract and transform. So we are touching those two tonight, right? We extract and then we transform. So let's proceed now to Power BI, right? So what I will do now is I want to believe we all have our Power BI open. So you might have to also share your screen. All right, so you share your screen. I want to see how your screen looks like. All right, so girls, get ready. Benjamin, can you share your screen so that we flow through, or you get it? You said you've not been able to download Power BI, which is very important to download that so that you can follow through. So any issues, if there's something, you can share your screen so that I look at it and I walk you through.
I'm following up with my phone.
What do you say?
I'm using the Zoom with my phone.
You're using
my phone right now. I'm using it with my phone. The Zoom class with my phone.
Oh, so you won't be able to. What's wrong with the installation?
I wanted to log in my WhatsApp so I can install that. Then I restarted it.
What
In
is
the
it?
process of restarting it, it started updating.
So your system is updating.
This is almost true, sha. It's almost true.
Okay, so maybe after the class, if you have any challenge downloading it, all right. So just at least you have the recording so that you
Link
follow
is there
through
already, yes.
everything we have. So Michael, is your Power BI opened? Michael,
Yes, sir. The system I'm using currently now, Power BI is not on it.
what is it?
Say the system I'm using currently, Power BI is not on it.
Okay. So which one do you have Power BI on? Another system?
Yeah.
Hello?
My
Hello?
other system, but it's
Okay,
off.
your other system. Okay, so meaning you won't be able to
Yes, but it's
practice
off.
football. Okay,
I've
well,
not put it on.
so let me just
Yes, sir.
start with the extraction process. So we are going to be dealing with this data. So I will send it to the group. It's an episode data. So then this is meaning we are extracting from Excel. All right. I will also I think there is, let me open one. I think there is one. Oh, what have I just done? I hope it's not that. Ah, I've gone to overwrite. So, okay, this is what I will do. Few minutes, let me connect to my WhatsApp. I will download it. Okay, so okay, so this is a CSV file. All right. Can we all see my screen? Can we see my screen, guys? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this is CSV file, comma separated value file. And then this is an Excel file. So we connect through with this, we connect through with this, and then we'll also look at and we also look at connection using what's it called now? Connection from SQL Server. So we tried those three ways, right? So let me get started. So let's start with the Excel. We come to Power BI. As I've told us, where you connect to data is from this get data, right? So get data. So we are getting data from where? From Excel workbook. You can also come here to get your data. Anyone that you prefer. Get data, Excel workbook, right? Then you go to where you have this Excel, I think. So open. So I'll send this file as well so that you can follow through. So open. This is the file. You can. This is just going to give you a preview. So what the first thing I did was what to this stage is what extract. I've extracted my data from where it is from Excel, and then I'm bringing it to Power BI. That's extraction. Now it's giving me a preview of how my data is. This is how my data is. If I now want to load it in, I will check this. This is where the file is. I will check it. Now there are two options. Either I load or I transform. Load means I assume that my data is clean and fine. There is no need for transformation. So I will load, right? But transformation means that data is not looking fine. I want to. So transform means that data is not looking fine and I want to transform it. So I go to transform data. So like what we are saying now, we have extract and what and load. So we've extracted, all right, and then now we want to transform because that's the next step. After extraction, you can see that the extraction is so straightforward. After extraction, we now want to load. So I now want to transform. So I will transform. Immediately I click on transform, that takes me to Power Query where I can now transform my data. So let's say I want to do some stuff with my data. I can now start to do it. I want to create some columns. I want to do some formatting and all that. I can do that here. So we are going to be doing some sets of formatting, and I will list them out now, right? So so that we can end. So the first transformations we want to do on that data, all right? So is one, I want us to separate the written by column, right? Split it into two. So look at it now. This is the written by column. I want us to ensure that wherever you have two names, split it into two. If it is one name, just leave it at one, right? So split it into two. Separate is written by column into two columns, right? Two is the second thing is I want us to replace wherever you have not after separation, all right, with nothing. Then after doing that, I want us to group by. Let me see. So we have 10 minutes more, then we join by that same link. I think we have just 30 minutes to go. So I want us to group by number in season, right? I want us to group this USV as by number in season, right? So, or let's even group by director, by US viewers, right? So I'll come here. Let me write that as well. Group by directors. Group. Let me say group the viewers, right? Viewers by director. All right. So I want us to do that. Then 4, I want us to do a count of the users, right? Of the directors. Of the directors. So I want us to do a count of the directors. So for example, all right, we have Tim Van Patten. Tim Van Patten. How many Tim Van Patten do we have here? How many Brian Keck do we have? How many Alan Taylor do we have? So we are going to do that using group by, right? So then after doing that, now I want us to also so I want us also do something whenever where viewers is less than 3 million, right? Replace it with null. All right. So if your viewer is less than 3 million, replace it with null, right? So I want us to do that as well. And then the last but not the least, I want us to do is to append this table together, right? So the last thing I want us to do is append the episode table on each other. So these are the transformations I want us to do for tonight, and let's see how that works, right? So let's start. Separate the written by column into 2 columns, right? So what that means is we have our written by, right? So we want to separate it into 2 columns. How do I separate this into 2 columns? So that we have David Benioff and TB Wise, different columns. What idea can how do I do that? Can anybody help me out? Michael Benjamin. How do I separate those to that column into 2? From our idea of Power Query.
The format is up there equals to hello equals to number of arrow.
I can't hear you.
We start. I said equals to the number of arrow column.
Number of arrow.
Okay. Overall.
No. We are splitting this column. We want to make it 2 columns now, and want David Benioff, David Wish to be on different sides. How do we do that? Michael, any idea? Michael, any idea? Okay, let's just continue. So to do that, what you need to do is to split by, look, you will notice, you can see that and is, if you look at the pattern, and is what is separating them, these 2 names. So I can do a split by and. So that separates the first name from the second name. All right, if I just do, I can right click. There are 2 ways. I can right click and come to split column and then by delimiter. I can also come to transform, split column, and then by delimiter. Any way is a way. So I can come to split column now by delimiter, right? And then if you ask me what do I want my delimiter to be, so there are different options. I can use column, comma, equal sign, different options, but I want to custom my delimiter. In this case, I want my delimiter to be and, because I can see that and is what will separate both of them. So I can separate them by and I'll click OK. So you can see now I've separated them, but you notice that there will be a space before this GB views. So I can click on that and then come to format, and then I will say trim it. Trim it in the sense that don't let don't allow leading space before D, because that could cause problem. So I've trimmed. So with this now, we'll be able to answer the first question. Separate the written by column in 2 columns. Do you understand this? Michael, Benjamin, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. I hope I'm recording here. So let's go to the next question. Replace wherever you have null with nothing. Still on the column you created. If you notice, this column is having what? Null. N-U-L-L. So I want to replace those null with nothing. How do you do that? 2 ways as well. You can come to transform and come to replace values, right? And it can also, on that column, you right click and you say replace values. So any which way is what is good. So we are told to replace what? Null with nothing. So I'll just leave this other one blank and I'll put okay. You can see now that nulls are no longer there. I've replaced them. My data now looks clean. Is it also clear? Can I continue? Is it clear?
Yeah. Let's continue.
Eh?
Let's continue.
Okay. The third one is group the viewers by
Group the
directors.
viewers by director.
Eh? What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
Okay.
I say group the viewers by director, right?
So the next one is group the viewers by directors. I have less than 2 minutes anyway. So when we are done, we just join. We just have like 20 minutes to finish this up. So we'll continue tomorrow. Group the viewers by director, right? So go back, come here. So where are the directors? This is it. Where are the viewers? This is it. So this question is saying we should now group these viewers using director. So meaning, for example, if I have for Team Van Pattern, it will look for everywhere Team Van Pattern is there. Team Van Pattern here, it has 2.2. Here, 2.2. Let's look for another Team Van Pattern we have. If there's no longer anyone, if you add these two, 2.2 plus 2.2, because I said we are grouping by the sum. 2.2 plus 2.2, 4.4. So for Team Van Pattern, the sum will be what? 4.4. It moves again to Brian Kipp, add his own. Daniel Mia, add his own. Alan Taylor, like that. So that's what we mean by group by. So how do I do that? So click on that column and then say group by. So we have less than 1 minute. Let me just wait till this to close.